what's up guys? How you doing? It is Lasty here. Welcome today to a new FIFA 17 Ultimate Team player review. Let's take a look at one of the latest League Squad Building Challenge rewards, who goes by the name of Fedor Smolov. So, the Russian League SBC is the one you'll need to complete in order to unlock the Russian striker. He's 84 rated and he has 88 pace, 83 dribbling, 86 shooting and 81 physical. Now those are some impressive stats when you see that he's actually a 6'2" striker. So he's very, very quick for what is normally considered a target man. Now I've got a couple of different squad options for you guys to use him in. The first one is in a 2-striker formation. We've got Russian League up top, we've also got Bundesliga and Premier League, and then this is the team that I actually used him in. I played him as a lone striker in a 4-3-2-1. We have players from the Italian League, the Premier League, and of course the Russian League as well, and it was a great strike force of Shatov, Sterling and Smolov. So when we take a look at his in-game stats, I'm pretty impressed with some of the upgrades that he's been given. He looks to be a great player in terms of his pace for being such a tall player. He's got decent attack positioning, and of course, you notice that finishing stat is good as well. Now, basic chemistry, of course, on full chem will increase some of those stats somewhat, but I tried out the marksman chemistry style in order to boost his dribbling, his shooting, and his physical as much as I possibly could, because I was already satisfied with his pace and passing ability. Now when we move on in then to the pros and cons, like always we'll get those negatives out of the way first. I could only think of a couple because I have to admit I got on pretty well with this striker. The first one being his skill moves. He has 3-star skills, which as you know is distinctly average on FUT 17. You're going to need 4-star or better in order to be doing the nice chops and useful spins and turns, which adds a certain amount of versatility to a striker's game. Unfortunately, Smolov doesn't quite have that, but he does have decent dribbling, so you are able to do the LTRT and that sort of thing as a way of getting around the lack of 4-star skills. The only other thing I noticed that because he's quite a tall player, his balance is off a little bit. Now, he's quite strong, so, you know, you're not often going to get pushed off the ball. But if you do, and you are outmuscled by a stronger centre-back, then it is likely that this guy's going to hit the ground and, you know, of course, fall over, meaning that it's going to stop your attack completely. Now, we'll move on to the positives, and there is a much longer list because I really did like Smolov on this game. I go way back with Smolov. I used his regular version right at the start of FIFA 17, so I was very excited to see this one when it was released. His pace is obviously one of the first things you notice. The next thing is probably his height. You don't expect someone to be tall and quick, so that is something you get with the Russian striker. He can be played as a target man. Of course, he will win headers and stuff, but you can use him as a pacey guy as well, which means he gets a little bit of an extra slice of versatility in his attack. His positioning is great. I found as an out-and-out striker, as a lone striker in a 4-3-2-1, he was often in the right spot at the right time, either to receive the ball or he was already making a run for one of his teammates to play it through. His ball control and dribbling, again, very impressed by that for someone who is 6'2". There are smaller strikers who are probably better on the ball. He's not an amazing dribbler, but he does have very good stats, and you can get by quite nicely with the Russian. Next up, I was actually really impressed with Smolov's strength. It was one of the first things I noticed. Like I said earlier, you can run into a couple of problems with balance if you come up against some of the much stronger centre-backs. But in a normal sort of game-to-game basis, Smolov holds his own up front against some of the centre-backs and definitely against full-backs and midfielders. And then finally, the best part about Smolov, he's a great goal scorer, so his finishing ability is top-notch. And I was also impressed that he could quite easily shoot on that left foot, which is, of course, a 4-star weak foot. One of the more impressive stats about him. So there you have it. Do I rate this guy? Yes, and I definitely recommend you guys picking him up. I really enjoyed the SBC version of Smolov, and hopefully you guys will as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.